Hello, dear ones. This is Agape from Enter Agape. Thank you for visiting me on my channel. I'm so happy for each and one of you. And today I want to share with you about my experience with Course in Miracles and the message that I found there, and also talk a little bit about light session that are part of this spiritual practice, at least here in Poland, where I am from. And so in one of the previous videos, I've mentioned how I've encountered Course in Miracles. And at some point I wasn't ready for the message, and I wouldn't even understand the words that was read out by my friends, because it seems so complicated to me. But at some point I was drawn into this book and into this message. And so my first encounter that I participated in, like a practice where we gathered with people for meditation, movement meditation called Light Session, and to hear about the teachings of Course in Miracles, was because I wanted to visit my friends that I've met on a different course. It was a Theta Healing course, which I also highly recommend for all of you there who want to be a certified healer or just want to work on your subconscious and your blockages. And so I was basically invited by a friend to go and check for myself how it looks like. And my first impression was like, oh my God, what are those people doing there? Because light session and the way it was presented to me with the people that I've participated in, that have been teaching the course for the last 20 years, starting in USA, where there was this academy for the teacher participating in course and teaching the message of Jesus Christ. So the first encounter I had was a movement meditation with music, where people would go into kind of trance, and depending from a person and the situation, some of them would laugh, some of them would cry, some of them would lay on the floor even, or fall asleep or shiver, and some would just be still. And I was like, my ego was like, oh my God, I'm not doing this. This is crazy. This is not for me. So that was like a first encounter, and instantly my ego was like not satisfied. I must admit that the first session I didn't have an experience, a light experience, because some of you may ask, what is it to have an experience in light? Well, I guess it depends from a person, and probably everyone would give you a different answer. And so the only thing I could relate is how I have experienced it. So at a particular point of time, when I've learned to release control and the judgment of how I look, and are people judging me for my movements, for what I'm saying or doing, I just relaxed to the point that I've allowed the light, the energy to penetrate me. And more I would experience this feeling of internal bliss. And I guess for some people, that people who are have a seeing abilities, you can also refer it to like seeing more light, or just to feel light. This is like oxymoron somehow, but you can have experience of feeling that there's more light. And once you touch it, you know what I mean. It's very hard to describe it in words. You have to have your own experience. But generally, the way I see it is the higher consciousness, being the light, comes down and penetrates you in ways that are hard to describe, in the ways that your subconscious is being cleared out of certain blockages. And sometimes it becomes so intense that you may even fall on the floor and kind of lose your conscious. And I know in Christianity, in church, there's this term like falling asleep in the Holy Spirit. And I guess that's exactly what is happening for some people. And interesting thing is that at the beginning, when I've experienced light, it was very intense for me, like with a shivering kind of trance. And then at some point, and I see that be a case for many of my friends, you come to a point where you can experience light in a more fluent, more relaxed and stable way. So I heard an explanation of some of the teachers saying that at the beginning you might have so many blockages around your energetical body that when the light comes through you, every blockage it encounters makes you like a crumble or like a shiver, because there's a blockage and it stops. And at some point you're beginning to be more at ease and your energetical body is more open to receive the light, so you can just stand there and pray in meditation and just feel blissful and kind of expand in this consciousness, this Christ consciousness. And I think this is a very wonderful experience, because you might also have like visions, and I would say it's like delta waves, maybe kind of a dream state where you see things, feel things, and you can have this very deep insight into your own psyche, your own system. And I think it's something very valuable, and it's also very joyful, because the music is always very nice and people laugh and sometimes dance, and it's so spontaneous. And I guess it's a very wonderful practice, which I'm very grateful to be able to participate in. And generally the Course in Miracles is a message of Jesus Christ, a message of love. And if I would be to sum up this book in one sentence, I would say it's about forgiveness. And it's mostly about forgiving yourself, because once you forgive yourself, you are letting go of the judgment, and the judgment is only possible in dual-based reality. So you have this text about how to undo your thinking, how to undo your judgment, and to forgive, and choose always the highest loving thought, because there cannot be love and fear coexisting on one frequency. So we always have a choice. And the Course is for me a blueprint for how to reach the state of consciousness when you can live without judgment, especially judgment about yourself, and you can therefore release the lower densities which are not true, which don't even exist, because the only thing that exists in this universe is love, and everything is made of love, and everything else is just a reflection of the true reality. It's just a matrix, you could call that. So you got also a lesson for every day of a year, and for me those lessons are more like manifestations, more like affirmations to clear your mind, which I find very valuable. And I think I'm going to do a video about affirmations as well, because I would say that at this point in my journey, affirmations are really working a lot for me. So even to the point that if I feel anxious, or if I have like so-called a worst day, I can focus on a loving thought, and it really helps me a lot to shift my perspective, to shift my energy. So that's something I would highly recommend for all of you. And to sum up, I would tell you this story that I've encountered this weekend. I was participating in Course in Miracles intensive practice. And yes, I was resisting to go there, and I even did a video about that, how I was pulled and called to go there, even though I didn't feel that, because my ego was resisting. And I am very grateful to have gone there, to make this decision, to change my mind, and because all the other possibilities were closed for me at that point. And I said, okay, maybe I'm called to go there. And I know it was a good choice. And Actually, of at the end of the practice, there was this person who approached me, and was literally an angel for me at that point, because he helped me to understand that actually one of my emotions was blocked, and these emotions were longing. So like last 15 minutes of the course of the practice of the meeting, and there is this person showing me exactly what I need to find out about myself at this point of time, and helping me to release those emotions, and giving me all the affection and unconditional love I was needing at that point. And I really felt that was my so-called angel at this time, and I was so grateful to be there and to experience that, because we know there are no accidents. So if this message finds you and you already encountered this topic of Course in Miracles, I would highly suggest you check yourself for the message. You look for the book. You can start with internet. There are many channels that talk about daily lessons and talk about the practice, and you can take it from there. And just make sure that you follow your heart, because in the end of the day, that's our intuition that is going to guide us, and that the inner voice, the silent voice that is inside of us, that wants to help us and find our way to peace and love, and to become more and more tuned to the Christ consciousness that I guess we are all called to start to explore. And I'm so happy for you, and thank you for watching. Until next time.